What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Get Off My Lawn. I am Al the Geek, and welcome to the World Foam Alliance. You are on the World Foam Alliance YouTube channel. I'm hoping you're already subscribed. If you have not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button, share with other people, help us grow and become a bigger and better thing, which is what we're striving to do here. Here at the World Foam Alliance, if you don't know what we do, basically our whole goal and mission is to be outreach to find and connect all the foam flinging enthusiasts, not only nationally, globally, but everywhere. There's a lot of people everywhere, and a lot of times it's hard to realize that there are many other nerfers probably in your own backyard that would love to be playing, but you all don't know where each other is. So we have created the World Foam Alliance. The whole point is it's the one place where you can find everybody and anybody, be able to connect, know that where the groups are, where the events are, and everything else that is that we do. Now, if you haven't already, also go over to worldfoamalliance.org. Over there is our website. It is still under construction. Yes, we know it's been a while since there's been an update, but as a reminder, we do this all for free. Our budget is, about that. And a lot of our growth, lovingly and thankfully, is because we have a lot of people that work on this and do it because they love the idea. They want to see it happen. So it's a lot of pro bono. When it's pro bono, unfortunately, sometimes it's hard to meet deadlines. But I assure you, we are working. It's going to be awesome. There will be updates. Now, in the meantime, go over to worldfoamalliance.org. Be sure to register. Register. That way, as updates happen, we know where you are. When we know you are where you are, then other people will also know where you are. So don't forget to go register over there. Also, in terms of other announcements, Foamsgiving will be returning. Once again, Foamsgiving, if you don't know what that is now our annual charity event. That will be happening Saturday, November 23rd, I do believe, which is basically the Saturday before American Thanksgiving. It will be a 24-hour live feed again. We will be putting out an official announcement this weekend. We will also be putting out the options of people to be able to sign up for different things. But more importantly, we're going to be giving stuff away. There's going to be ways to donate, ways to buy. There'll be raffle tickets. There's going to be silent auctions. There'll be many different things. We might change the format where it's not just only charitable events, but we are also looking at the option of raising money because we are the World Foam Alliance. We're supposed to be helping and supporting you, but having the option of raising money to supporting different clubs or different ventures throughout the year when it comes to foam flinging. Don't quote me on that. Details will be shared. I know a lot now. If you just heard me, will probably ask, does that mean? It means that's what I have right now. That's it. I'm not sharing any more because we're still figuring out the details. But the point being is that all the money we raised is going to go back to various things and we will sort it out. To give you an idea of some of the things that will be given away, some are actual custom blasters. The one that I can confirm is that Dart Zone had made, well, last year we gave away a gold Dart Zone Mark IV. Only 20 of them were made. We got one. We had a bunch of people sign it. And I do believe it went for, almost $600. We don't have any more gold Mark IVs, but we have a red metallic Mark IV. Only 30 of these have been built. Now, here's the best part about this one. Dart Zone is no longer making any more metallic colored blasters. It's not safe for the environment. It's not safe for the environment. It's not economically viable. That's it. We got one. It's been signed by everybody. Thank you for Maryland Mayhem, and that will be going up as well. Also, one of the big things I will be giving away is my own personalized Moose 1 as Misguided Moose. It was his design, but mine was created by Foamdemic. I was given it by Foamdemic, and I love it. It is black and yellow. It says Al the Geek on it. It says Foamdemic on it. I will be signing it, and that will also be going up for Foamsgiving. Not everyone gets free stuff. Captain Xavier definitely gets more free stuff than I do, but I get free stuff at times too. So you know what? It's just me paying it forward, spreading the love, and everything that I raise actually will go to it. Now, with that said, there are two of us on this show, so obviously the other person is Captain Xavier. Cap, man, what's shaking, brother? How are you?
I've been ratted out. Yeah, Foamsgiving. Looking forward to it. I'm going to donate some stuff as well. As you mentioned, I get a lot of free stuff, and there's stuff where it's cool, but I know I'm never going to use it. So I would rather it go somewhere where it might actually get used. So I have a few items I'm going to add to the pile. We'll also, once again, have the donate to have Captain Xavier fire rival rounds from tier. Last year, you raised $1,400 just to have me do a tank dump. but 1,400 rounds doesn't fill Tier's tank. Tier's tank holds 2,000, so we're gonna go for a higher goal. That'll be my big stretch goal, is get it to 2,000, so I actually have to fill the tank. And then you'll probably fill 4,000, and I'll have to do it twice, just because you're obstinate like that, and I love it. Yeah. Should there be more news on that soon as details arrive? It's just the two of us. We don't have a guest today, but I'm sitting at my computer, so I have full access to the chat. So do feel free to ask questions. I don't know if we'll have the phone line open today. We will not. The man behind the curtain says we will not. So it's all going to be the chat. Bring on the chat. Let's get some good chat questions going. We should have fun with that. Al is going to come visit me. He will be here tomorrow morning. I will be picking him up at the airport, and we're going to go raid Out of Darts' warehouse because it's on the way back to my place. So we're going to kick the door in and tie up Dr. Flux and steal all Out of Darts' stuff while he's out spending time with his children. We will raise the black flag and leave crumbs. It'll be great. We also have a member of the A-Team, Jeff from the A-Team. Is that who's coming?
Correct, Pixie.
Yeah, he was on the live stream last week or last time, 2 weeks ago.
Yes, last time.
So real short notice, he's suddenly flying to Washington. Come to the Nerf promised land that is my makerspace. I got the arena fully upgraded. It used to have 6-foot walls. It now has 8-foot walls. All the interior walls are now 8 feet tall, so there will be no of this shooting over the top of the wall business that we've been dealing with for so long. It's a much more dense map. There is now no... It's fully filled in. There is no trees that aren't connected into walls of one kind or another. It's set up in buildings now. The buildings have interior rooms. I eventually want to put shooting platforms in some of the buildings. I may eventually put windows in. We will see. I'll continue to improve, but it should be a lot of fun giving it a full test. I did a test of the setup, the new positioning, the setting it up as buildings at the last event I hosted at my place, which was in February. It's been a rough year. But now I've got it with 8-foot walls, so we will see what folks think of that. We've got some new game types we're going to try in there, and it should be a lot of fun. So, and then the next day we're doing, the first day, so Al's coming out on Thursday. We're going to raid Out of Darts' warehouse. Friday, what were we planning to do Friday? There was stuff. We've got some boxes to open. Oh, yeah, we'll be doing Fan Mail Friday live. Al the Geek and Jeff and I will be doing that live on my channel. We've got some loot to open up, which should be a lot of fun. And Al wants me to help him build himself a proton Packy blaster. We'll see how much of that we can get done in a day. It may not be a one-day project. It might be. We're going to find out. Well, at least get it started. If we don't get it finished, then I'll finish it up and mail it to you, or bring it to you when I come to Maryland next. One way or the other, we will get you.
Too. Who knows? We might turn it live, depending how we feel today.
We'll see how we go, but we'll definitely film it, whether we do it live or whether we do it separate. Probably separate, because I imagine we will utter the occasional disparaging word that I'll need to edit out.
Yes, that'll be a video.
So then,
video, not live.
Saturday is then our last Borst War of the year, which is going to be heavily zombie themed because October. Then Sunday will be the event at my place, which is one of the events that I host in my arena in combination with a local kid's birthday party. So there will be cake. And then Monday, I throw you back on a plane and good riddance. You need to give me all that flight data. All right, let's check out the comments.
Check out what General Strife said. I like the idea, and I know there's got to be somewhere we can find it.
What, X-Shot skins?
No, bobbleheads.
Oh. A Captain Xavier and Al the Geek. I do have a Captain Xavier bobblehead. Well, it's actually a Funko Pop, but they're like bobblehead. Do their heads bobble?
No, I don't think so.
Well, then what's the point? I do have a Captain Xavier. What? I did see the lawnmower comment. Get a lawnmower. I have been meaning to weaponize to arm my golf cart, but it's currently not working. So I wanted to put a gun turret on it. Bobble hometown's a little bit further down. Need myself an Al the Geek and Captain Xavier bobblehead on fake grass. That would be awesome.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
To get custom bobbleheads.
Well, you know what?
Tell you what, we should custom Funko Pops.
Well, you know what? We'll put it on the list because if we can get a set made for Foamsgiving, guess what's going up at Foamsgiving?
That would be pretty cool. Brickheads. It might be rather than doing bobbleheads, we could do it as a brickheads. Do Lego.
Oh, I like this. We'll have options, man.
There's probably already instructions out there for a Team Fortress heavy. You know what? I have the internet.
We'll see what you can find.
Team Fortress brick heads.
It is always good to have options.
Hey, look at that. There are, in fact, instructions for a Team Fortress 2 heavy brickheads. Instructions are free. And it would not be difficult to modify it to be either you or me. I just have to give him hair for me and change his beard to white for you.
That's right.
Change the coloring on the torsos to match our idiom, yellow and orange.
My guy will put a little scar over here on his head.
Yeah. We may have to look into that. We may just have to look into that. I always wanted a makerspace-like area in Iowa or somewhere in the Midwest. Yeah, so there probably is a makerspace somewhere. There's makerspaces everywhere. Having one that's Nerf-focused is a whole different matter. A few have been made as a result of me making mine. Other people went, I've got an empty basement. Let's do this. But I don't know if there's one in the Midwest or in Iowa. I think it was in, I don't remember where that one ended up being. It was somewhere else.
Well, CR Nerf, he didn't have a makerspace, but what he did was over the summertime, he had 2 dates where it was kind of like a workshop makerspace where people would come blasters and it was kind of like basic modding techniques. Yeah. So he did that at the local school where you rented out a couple of classrooms. So it is, as long as he's getting support and people are helping and it's working, I would not be surprised if he tries to make something like that happen.
You can create custom Funko Pops on their website.
I just saw that from Dustin. That comment. Yeah, he sent you yours. They are bobbleheads, and you can get custom made ones. So that might be an option. In the comments, if we were giving away custom Al the Geek and Captain Xavier Funko Pops, would you be interested?
I have to see what they would cost, but that would be hilarious.
You know how we really make it fun? We make custom Funko Pops, and then we figure out a dynamic target option where we have our 2 Funko Pops on the target.
And so that's why it would need to be a bobblehead, so you could hit us in the head and have our heads bobble around.
Well, that's what he says. The Funko Pop, it bobbles.
Some. He says some are. So, I mean, if we could get ours to be made so that they were bobbleheads, that would make it great. Especially if we were on a lawn section so we wouldn't fall over when you got hit. It would just make the head bobble if it had a solid enough base for the lawn.
Because we can use the lawn. Because, I see potential.
Hear me out here. You make it a competitive game. One person's shooting at me and the other person's shooting at you, and the first to get their Funko Pop off the lawn wins.
There we go. You know what? We just might do that this weekend where we'll just make oh, dude. Yeah, have you ever made a fake mannequin? where you stuffed clothes and hung it like a man.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna make something of each other, and this will actually all relate to. We're not gonna give it all away. Friday we're doing the live with fan mail, and after fan mail we're gonna open some stuff up. So then it might lead to some fun on the range, where maybe we shall set up. We'll set up something where we're nailing it and shooting it off.
Oh, we can remember. I've got Loadout Larry. He's wearing my old HVZ gear. He's a mannequin with my shirt and my camo pants. And I've got another just a torso mannequin that I could put an Al the Geek shirt on and just hang those two in the range. We'll
That'll
come up
work.
with some.
Yes,
Did Al
we
freeze?
will.
Al has frozen.
So was me. All right, hold on
He's
one
moving.
second.
Oh, you're moving again. Don't fiddle with it. Don't poke the buttons. Don't touch it. No. He's going to ruin everything.
I am going to ruin everything.
I did see the Lego X Mansion.
Yeah. Uncle Pop yourself. Perfect. We have the link. Thank you, Dustin.
Oh, awesome.
That'll be fun.
What do we got?
Oh, Captain Shotgun was asking about the official date for Foam's Giving. And like I said, the official announcement's coming this weekend, but it looks like all signs are pointing to the Saturday before Thanksgiving, which is like November 23rd, I think it is. Month from today. There it is. Yep, November 23rd, 24 hours. More details will be shared and stuff like that. But it will be Saturday, November 23rd. It'll be 24 hours. Most likely, the first hour will probably be the World Foam Alliance people, meaning myself, Captain Xavier, Dart Sweep, Maritime Foam, and such. And then we'll probably be the four that end it. And then also we have some various ideas for the stream as it continues.
Yeah.
But as we have it, we will be sharing information.
Thanksgiving is late in the month this year.
It is, man. It is. It is.
It's the 28th.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those weird holidays where it moves around because it's always the fourth Thursday. Which
Agreed. Well, I think last year was kind of early, though, too.
Probably, I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's see what we've got. Custom Funko Pop links. Ever put anything off of a phone? Interesting. Thoughts on the N series blasters with their special ammo? I have played, I think, with an N series blaster, and it was already modified. Not a fan of the ammo because it's a new ammo that doesn't do anything new. It's like when they tried to push Ultra on us to replace darts, and we're like, no. And then they tried to push Hyper on us to replace Rival, and we're no. Mega is useful because it's a bigger dart. Mega XL is useful because it's an even bigger dart. The Rockets were fun because they're different. But the N series darts, they don't do anything that regular darts don't, except we can't use them in any of our blasters. So why would we switch? Don't get it.
I don't know either. Also, random question, since Captain Xavier and I will be in the same zip code, if you have any requests to see or would love to have us do something, since we're actually in the same space, make a comment and we'll see if we can make it happen.
Yeah,
or we might just laugh at you and say no.
We're not doing that. We're old men. Are you crazy? Let's see. So again, there will be an announcement about Foam's Giving that will have all the information, how to volunteer, how to donate. We don't have that information yet. Please be patient.
Exactly. I just double typed no problem, no problem. I meant to say no problem, brother. Oh, my brain is broken. That's all good.
Actually, I haven't looked at I need to. I was looking at an N series dart, and I think it actually is a hollow tube, but then they glue a plug into the back of it.
Correct.
So it is hollow, but
it almost seems like a correction or a change as opposed to original design. And I wonder if it's a shortened dart was terrible and they already had everything designed in the machine, so then inserted the glue thing in the back.
my guess is it just makes it harder to manufacture counterfeits and potentially
Which
make it not worth the effort, which it isn't worth the effort anyway, because they're a wider dart, so they won't fit in regular Nerf blasters. It's weird. It's weird, man.
It's like I get the whole point of trying to corner the market, but how about stop spending money on trying to make it's just ours, and actually to instead of trying to force people to buy it because it doesn't work in anything else, why don't you just make it good instead? Then you don't have to worry about that stuff and you'll still be selling a ton of it. What a novel concept.
Yeah. Instead of trying to make something proprietary, why not make something good? They used to. They used to make great stuff. At the time when Elite Darts came out, they were the best darts on the market. The problem is we started making more and more powerful blasters, and they don't work as good in powerful blasters because that's not what they were designed for.
Yeah.
Dart Zone came out with their waffle heads, which work great in powerful blasters. Then we discovered half darts are the way to go, and Hasbro got into that game so late, it's just tragic. But they've done good stuff. The 3 half dart blasters Hasbro's produced have all been good blasters. It's just kind of they're late. They're late to the game, man.
Well, actually, technically, isn't it 4? Did you include the Strifex?
Yeah, there's the Strifex, the Torrent, and the Sender.
Sender, that's right. I don't know why I said you're right. Never mind. I don't know why I thought there was a third one that came out with the Torrent, the Sender, but it was the Strifex before that.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned in one of my comments when they put out the Strife, the Strifex, they should have also put out a Springer, and I agree. I would have liked to have seen an Alpha Trooper X or a Longshot X or even a Retaliator X that was half dart and was, powerful, but they didn't. The Strifex was a fabulous platform. I will continue to say that it is an excellent, excellent blaster, but a lot of it was too little too late. The Sender and the Torrent are good for what they are. They went for something we can put on the shelves at Walmart, which means it has to be less powerful, and because it has to be cheaper, and so it had to be a double A's instead of lipo, and on and on and on and on and on.
They have to stay in their lane and
their
do
own
what they
worst
do.
enemy. But yeah, I would have loved a Longshot X or an Alpha Trooper X, any of those redone as Pro Blasters. A Rampage X also would have been good.
That really would have been good. Oh, I really would have liked that because I'd master key everything with that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, did you see
Nerf blaster with a Mindstorm kit? See, I've done that kind of. Luchathor found some company that made Nerf blasters, but they were made with Technic bricks, and it was just rubber band powered, so it had absolutely no power. So I added flywheels onto the end of it, and it didn't work particularly well either, but it was hilarious.
And to finish that, General Strife, the Vulcan X, that'd be it's a much better version of that would be great too.
Vulcan X would be pretty hilarious.
Everything in that original, like the N-Strike Elite series, like the Longshot X, where the Longshot actually was like 150, 160 FPS. Now that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, the X theme, it would have been really cool for them to release their greatest hits. But as Pro Blasters, it was just like it's just we've been doing it for years and they can do it better. Do it. But I also do love what they did with their Pro line of making them very sci-fi looking. They're very svelte. They're very not at all. They don't look anything like a real firearm, and that's just a good move also. Very much approve of that. Sweet Revenge X. Yeah, see, because we've got like the Outlaw, which proved that no, you can make a high-powered half-dart revolver, hammer primed. Okay, that's everything we wanted. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, making half-dart revolvers is simple. It's less material.
Like if they took the hammer shot and made it shoot like an outlaw.
Sweet Revenge is better than the hammer shot, just performance-wise and ergonomics in many ways.
Yeah.
It's svelte, man. The only downside to the Sweet Revenge is it doesn't quite fit in a double AK pouch as well. It fits too loose, whereas a hammer shot fits very snugly and beautifully. But the Sweet Revenge also came with its own holster, which the hammer shot never did. So
Yep. Mando Pulse Rifle X. Yeah. Man, that Mandalorian sniper is so sad and crappy. It's like, come on, man. Like, why?
One of these days, my goal is to bust it open and shove an XBZ in it so it'll actually have some power.
Just like, come on, man. Or even like the Aliens gun. It's like, come on, man. The M41A Pulse Rifle. Like, come on.
A lot of those, I mean, I understand the conundrum of you have to make it look like the blaster from the video, from the movie, from the game, from whatever. You have to do that first, and then you have to figure out how to make it functional. The pulse rifle, they don't have much of a leg to stand on because it's just a strife, or I think it's a rapid strike actually. But again, it's got to run on double A's, and that's an easy one to fix. Pop it open, throw heavier motors in her, rewired for lipo. You just got to make sure you don't fry the sound and lights, or you lose your ammo counter. But the fact that it had a functioning ammo counter is pretty cool.
Yes. Adjustable stock would have been nice too, but it's like whatever.
Yeah. And making it so it would have been nice if it could take regular magazines.
Yeah.
It will take some, but you gotta Dremel part of the lip off. 95 crossbow X. That would be pretty cool if they made it so it fired either elite darts or Mega XL.
That it would be. Yeah. Any of those X would have been a lot of fun, man.
Oh, that's the thing. I mean, actually, now that I think about it, a 95 crossbow can fire Mega XL. Stock. Because it usually fired Nerf arrows, and Nerf arrows and Mega XL fit the same post. So
that'll work.
Mine was modified by some guy in Canada whose name I can't remember. It was on the last stream.
Adrian.
Yeah.
Adrian. It was probably Adrian.
Probably.
Yeah, I think it was.
And then I just made it so it could take any of Ire's attachments because I'm lazy like that.
Yeah, you are. Hey, did you see today? Go ahead.
What?
You laughed about something. Go ahead.
Nope. I was laughing about that.
Oh, okay.
What are you?
Oh. Did you get the email from Dart Zone? Did you see what they released today?
What did they release today?
So today, because, and again, as much, I love the fact that every year they always try to put out brand new blasters, but sometimes taking what you have and just tinkering with it. So they earlier released the Mark II, which was both in purple and green, but today they released the Gen 3 Omnia in green.
I've vaguely heard about that. Somebody mentioned it in here, a Nitro Strike Omnia. Yeah.
Correct. And now, obviously, once they're out, we can test them. Oh, sorry. It's Daniel Murray. There you go. Blue has corrected us. It wasn't Adrian. It was Daniel Murray that made it for you. The crossbow. Right. There you go. Thanks, Blue. Blue, by the way, I've already called in sick for you. Get on your plane. I'll see you tomorrow, dude. No excuses. Just make it happen. We'll write you notes. But so apparently they have tried to fix and correct the trigger delays and a couple other things. So we will see again. I don't doubt they tried, and we'll see when they actually come out how well it came out. But I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I still need to. Been meaning to tinker with an Omnia, see what I can do about dealing with the delay. Do you know if a sharpshooter
just buy a green
2
one.
can fire MXL? No, the sharpshooter. Oh, No, the original Sharpshooter 2 fires a regular dart, but it actually fires it off of a post. You would need to do some significant modification, get it to fire Mega XL. I really ought to finally nail down what's going to be my end of the year build. Get started on that.
Do you? So you finally have the idea?
No, I've got a couple of options. One I was considering is just finally building the pulse rifle, the fancy pulse rifle.
Yep.
Getting around to building that finally. Just so I'll have it to match my smart gun.
There you go.
Recon inner barrel down the barrel. Yeah. If I assume they're talking about the remake of the Sharpshooter 2. Because Hasbro recently released one that just fires mega darts. But
That's
yeah,
right.
if you took a regular Nerf barrel, which is roughly the same diameter as a mega dart, and shoved it in the barrel, mega darts are the same inside diameter as Mega XL. The outside diameter of a mega dart is the same as the inside diameter of a Mega XL dart. So that would work.
But it is interesting to see with the new Omnia, and I'm guessing we'll be getting ones soon enough, just to see how much of because what a difference if you've actually corrected that trigger delay. Because again,
they fixed so much just with the Mark II.
Yeah, with the Gen 2, and I get it. Like, well, it's always the argument, right? The correction is there, but at the same time, it's like you got to remember it's still like a $70-$80 blaster. So it's always that give or take where it's figuring out how to make the blaster better, more efficient, even better, but at the same time not breaking the bank on it. So it's always that happy trade-off. And the Omnia, for what it does, that's not an easy feat to pull it off for that much money. Now you can argue about the Blink. The Blink, I think, is what, $70 or $80, and I haven't seen it yet. But well, I've seen it, but I haven't had a chance to play with it. But
you'll see it this weekend.
There you go. Dart Sweep said that the trigger delay is like all over the place.
Yeah. It also has a slow. Or are you talking about the Omnia or the Blink?
The Blink.
Yeah, the Blink. I don't know about trigger delay, but it's got a slow spin up speed. The motors don't, and I think that's probably just because it's got really heavy wheels, because there wasn't a whole lot of sag between shots, and it can have a fairly high rate of fire. You'll get to play, like I said, you'll play with it when we get here. We'll do some time on the range. Play with whatever you feel like playing with. Yeah, I like the green Omnia more than the red. Also, I like that it matches the Venom nicely.
Oh, that's right. I didn't think of that, because then you got because you get the Mark II, which is now also in green and purple. Then you have, look at that with the color combinations. Everything was red before. I don't know why. It was all red matched before, but I don't know why with the green I feel like it matches more. Or maybe that's just my brain messing with me.
I don't know. I wish they'd just go back to making everything orange. It'd save me a lot of trouble. But green is my second favorite option for Nerf colors. So, works for me.
Absolutely. By the way, I am bringing...
Oh, a new Magnum Super Drum. Ooh.
Magnum Super Drum. Oh, the one that's like $20 at Target.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the first ones to go green. That's one of those interesting blasters, below the radar. And I remember when it came in, and year after year, they just keep selling them. It's only $20. It's nothing that fancy, but they keep making them every year because people keep buying them.
Because they're great. I mean, it's a ridiculously high capacity revolver. It's got good performance. It's got They fixed the stock. The earliest stocks were horrific. We just tore them off. This one looks like it's an actual collapsing adjustable stock. It looks fabulous.
Yes, it is. Makes a big difference.
Solid blaster. Right up there
Which
with
one's
the
most
Villainator,
surprising?
another just solid full length, high capacity revolver.
Yep.
Um,
Which reminds me, so you got the new Dart Zone darts, the nitro shots, and the other ones. What do you think of them overall?
I like them. They're solid. I need to try them in more blasters that they were probably actually intended for. That was
Yeah.
kind of the issue I ran in with what I took to the range. Is these are the things I would like to have a better full length dart for. So that's
Yeah.
what I tested with, and they weren't the ideal for any of those because they're definitely not designed for a sealed breech Springer. Because it's a full length dart with a full sized head. And it's a very rubbery head. It's not quite like Boomco, but it's a lot closer to a Boomco head than any other dart head I've ever seen for a full length dart. So it, for the most part, didn't like being shot out of full length Springers. Though it didn't mind my Caliburn because I have an older Caliburn with a looser barrel. So they didn't work too bad in that one. I then fired them from what was it, the Thunderbolt, and the Thunderbolt actually really liked them. They fired well. It had the right like consistency and whatnot to go through that blaster's flywheel, which makes perfect sense because that's clearly one of the blasters I imagine they're designed for. The one downside is I think I was running slightly run down alkaline batteries in it, so it didn't have as much power as it probably should have, and it still worked really quite well. Um, the one that I was really hoping that they would shoot lasers from was my FDL3, and it didn't. It got better performance than Elite darts, obviously, and I think slightly better performance than the Meteor darts, but they didn't get anywhere near as good as performance as regular Adventure Force waffles. But a lot of that is just a matter of tuning with the blaster. My FDL3 absolutely loves Adventure Force waffles, and it shoots just terrifyingly straight. I've been to HVZs and zombies just like, what the heck? You're that accurate with full length darts from 75 feet? Like FDL3, man. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Yep.
I remember at Mall Madness sniping zombies through tiny holes in cover and them just going, what? uh, yeah, plus I prefer green darts for HVZ because zombies.
Green. It all makes
But I
sense.
need to try it in things like regular revolvers, front loaders. I need to try it in things like the Villainator. I need to try it in things like a Magnum Super Drum because those blasters, I think those darts are probably going to be really, really good. I think most of
Yeah.
the stuff that I was putting them through were too powerful for what those darts were designed for. I don't think they were designed to go 160 FPS or 180 FPS. I think they were more designed for the 100 FPS that stock Dart Zone blasters hit. So I need to. I will probably recompare it when I have some stock ones again. Um,
It actually makes
most
sense
of
because exactly what you're talking
it.
about. It's
Hi
not
in the
like
chat.
Dart Zone has no high performance full length dart blaster. Like you look
No,
at the
because
even though
full
it's
length darts
the
aren't generally used in high performance anymore.
correct.
We discovered
The
that half darts work way, way better. So why would people keep developing for that?
exactly like the Thunderbolt is just under 100 FPS. So I'm pretty sure if you use the Thunderbolt and put the nitro darts in there, it makes sense. Like on the flip
Yeah,
side for them, all their 150 and above blasters are all half darts. So obviously then you design those for the
as they
speed.
should be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's when you look at it that way, that makes total sense. Where Nerf just tries to
yeah.
make one and says, "No, no, it's great for everything." Is it though? Is it really? Because
Is it?
I'm wait,
Well, that's
what?
the thing.
Maybe.
Elite darts also work decently at 75 FPS, which they were designed for. You try to push them to 120, and of course they're going to go all over the place. It's not what they were
Yep.
built for. Which again, like that's why we have half darts.
Yeah.
Why we switched to those? They
That's how
work
we
better.
solve
They
the problem.
stabilize easier. Um, the fact that my FDL3 was the full length one and works is just a testament to how brilliant of engineer Project
My
FDL
God.
folks were. I mean, they just built the best blaster that I still don't have anything that, in my opinion, is better than my FDL3s. I mean, the SBF is fabulous, but given a choice, I'd still take my FTL3.
I have two of them. I have a full length and a half dart. My full length is actually a black and yellow one. My half dart's a black and red one.
I've got my orange and black one is my full length one. It's semi-automatic. That's the one I use for HVZ. And then the one I smuggled in from Denmark is mostly black with orange accent. So I added more orange. I reprinted some of the parts just so I could get some more orange on there. And it's half dart and is the select fire one. And they're both just phenomenal blasters.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess we'll see what Maryland Mayhem brings next year, depending on what the theme is going to be, and then who knows? Maybe it's FDL3 season again. I guess it'll depend on what the theme is and what works. Because last year with the cowboy theme, it made sense not to.
Yeah, same. I brought hammer shots and a sling fire and a shotgun because cowboy themed, and I was not taking it seriously. I wasn't running with a full auxiliary squad. Next year, I will be hopefully going with an auxiliary squad again, and the FDL will probably come back out with its side-mounted proton pack blaster. What I really want to do, the real reason that I have to get this pulse rifle built, is the guy who designed it also sent me the flamethrower from Aliens.
Yes, you got to build blaster. All those.
And so I need to build the pulse rifle so that I can duct tape the flamethrower to the side of it, like Ripley did. And it occurred to me that when I do that, I will actually have a slightly more HVZ effective blaster than my FDL3 and Jupiter, because the pulse rifle can fire mega. So I've got the thing to take out super zombies. My current setup doesn't have a mega blaster. Now I could strap a Proud Papa with a mega, or somebody is actually sending me a holster rig for the Cyclone Shock, which would be a great sidearm for mega.
I guess so. Yeah, that's right. It's such a clunky big blaster, but yeah.
But if you had it on a holster, then the bulk doesn't matter anymore because it's magnet mounted. Deal takes the issue, because before you're always trying, okay, how am I going to holster this monstrosity of a thing? Well, now you don't have to worry about that. Though, honestly, if I was going to go with a Mega Blaster, I would probably stick with my Mega Ultra 2, because it's semi-automatic.
Yeah, you would do that.
And I have a very lovely Ultra 2 holster, a pair of them. Leather, even.
Yes, you do. That's right.
With my logo.
You're so fancy.
I got the best.
That's just crazy. Seriously. Actually, by the way, I guess we'll touch on it a little bit. For Maryland Mayhem, they had made an announcement for the date, but then have taken it down just because they're going to try to work on a different date. And because the original announcement had it actually fall on Easter. And to give them credit again, because I'm local, so I talk to all of them. And it's not because they're like, whatever, man, we're doing it this day. Yeah, it's many moving parts in conjunction with, because you're doing an HVZ on a university campus, it depends which dates the university campus gives you.
Yeah.
And at that time, that's all they gave them. So they're like, all right, let's see if it'll happen, but it's not going to work. But it
was the most magnificent golden opportunity for Zombie Jesus theme.
I know it would have been, but here's the problem, dude. There would have been so many less people, and it would have been the same.
I doubt it.
Actually, no. Trust me, there was a lot of feedback.
Was there?
Yeah. And again, it's not because, like, obviously there'll be some people just because it's their religious thing, but it's not just that. It's like so many people were chiming in just because it's usually like a family-oriented holiday, so there's traditions. It might not even, like, everything from Easter egg rolls, everyone comes in for that weekend for it. So as a result of it, it's there is a lot of commitments to it. Like, I'm the only reason I would have been able to attend part of it is because I'm local. But even then, Sunday would have been a write-off for me. Part of Friday would have been a write-off for me. Team Mega Double XLs, we would have been short 4 players. So I don't know if that would have happened. So what's happening now is there is not an official new date. They are working it out And so that's where we're standing. They do have a theme. I don't know what it is. They've never leaked it. I don't ask because, I mean, I don't need to know these things. When I need to know, they'll let me know I need to know. But Maryland Mayhem is still planning. They are working on a date. And so as of now, there is no official date for Maryland Mayhem. When they have it, they will announce it.
Lovely.
It might
You'll
be in
know when
March.
we know.
Yeah, but this is all hypothetical, and I am not the person at the bargaining table. Just if those of you that saw it or were wondering it, it's not because they aren't trying. Again, when you pull off the big events like this, there are a lot of moving parts that you got to make sure everything works in scheduling.
Yeah, especially since each of the major events are run by different people. They've all got to be able to do it. All of the venues have to be available because they're all held at different locations. It's a lot. A lot of people, when you read the feedback and listen to some of the things people complain about, they clearly have absolutely no idea what goes into running an event on that scale. And a lot of it, there's plenty of constructive feedback, and we obviously want feedback because that does help improve. But there are ones who are just like, you are completely detached from reality if you think that is an option.
Sorry, just Andy Griffith has made comments. Yeah, CR Nerf is another one. He had made known that if it was Easter, he probably couldn't make it out. CR Nerf is out if they move it back one weekend. I'm out if they move it up one weekend. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be April anymore, anyways. But like I said, this is all hypothetical. Until I have a date, just know that we're not sure. He says, and as Andy said, he love you guys, but my 50th is the 12th, so I hope they they don't move it to that weekend. Brother man, that's awesome. I'm ahead of you. My 50th is in December. But there it is. And so for all those that, oh, here it is. If you're a younger person at home and you have dads or uncles that think they're too old for this stuff, and especially if I'm older than them, they're out of excuses. And tell them to shut up and embrace your inner child and stop being an adult and come have some fun.
Yeah, let's see. What else we got? Holster a Vulcan. I want to say I've seen somebody do it with holsters.
A Vulcan? Like a back one, but on the side?
Yeah, exactly. No, they had a Vulcan. I want to say somebody had a Vulcan on their back. Or no, it wasn't a Vulcan. I think somebody did a Nemesis.
Ragefire? Oh, yeah. The Nemesis I've seen.
I think I've seen a back holstered Nemesis. And that's not much bigger than a Vulcan. The big thing on the Vulcan is, of course, the belt and the box, depending on how you fit it. A hip holster for a Vulcan would be hilarious to see.
Well, actually, if you have a belt with an arm that comes out and it pivots on it, so it just kind of hangs down, and you just grab it, move it forward and tilt it, and pull the trigger and let it go, so you don't trip over it. There are options. We have creative people. And Andy Griff, once again, Foam Mando could probably make you a custom holster, I bet. Yeah, no kidding. He probably could.
I need to reach out to him about getting that custom H harness because the Scared stuff came out finally. All the brightly colored tack gear, and it's so much better quality than I had ever hoped. I did not expect it to be nearly as well constructed as it turned out to be. I was expecting kind of cheap stuff because it was a Kickstarter. I don't know where they got it manufactured, but it's worth the money. The downside is that the H harness that I then attached to the belt is black, and all the mag pouches that I put on all of my brightly colored gear are black. And so almost all of the orange on it got covered up. You're like, this is and I've only been able to find one company that sells an orange mag pouch, and they're like $10 a piece. You're like, I mean, I could drop $120 just on mag pouches to get all of this orange, because I really don't want 3D printed ones because they don't fold as well. I'd rather have cloth ones, but I may just have to bite the bullet and go with the 3D printed ones just because they're the only way I'm going to get them in bright orange.
I wouldn't doubt, just because of the success of the Kickstarter, the quality of the product, and the feedback they're going to get, without talking to them or knowing about it. And since you already developed some of the stuff in orange, like especially when you think about the drop pouch and the cell phone pouch, it's the same type of idea for mag pouches. So it might be the second stage or next process where it's like, all right, let's make some cloth mag pouches for the same thing.
Yeah, ones that people were discussing is we'd really like to see a an H harness, just so you've got suspenders, because that's nice.
Mhm.
A larger dump pouch, so that you can put more dumped magazines in it. Double AK pouches, because those
Yeah.
will fit either 2 full-length magazines, 4 small magazines, or a hammer shot. That's already a standard size that's very easy to do. And cloth mag pouches would be another one that I would, half dart ones, half dart mag pouches, pistol mag pouch size, would also be something I'd love to see.
Absolutely. I got
Some
my
people are also
scared
wanting
stuff as
full
well.
vests. I don't know if they'd ever do a full vest. I don't know if there's a whole lot of the bandolier really kind of makes the vest superfluous in a lot of ways for depending on your design. I hadn't really understood why it was so popular, and then I finally got mine and actually put mags in it, and the the distance from pulling the mag out to going into the blaster is so short. You're like, oh yeah, no, this is magnificent. I
This
get
is
it now.
why.
I see. It makes sense. And it's so
By the
minimalist.
way,
You don't have a full vest
yeah.
getting all sweaty as you're running through Georgia in 98-degree heat.
Well, I guess two things. So then, if they have the H harness, then at that point, it's not necessarily to mimic the vest. It's just having the appropriate Molly color that attaches to the H vest in the front to simulate the vest, or like the half front harness. So
Yeah.
that's not a far stretch. Just because they have the drop leg pouches, it's just basically an expanded version of that you can then put on the H harness to therefore simulate the vest.
Yeah.
As long as you maybe add like the Velcro across the top because everyone wants to stick patches on it. But then the second thing is, I got mine as well and I was able to. I bit the bullet. I'm checking a bag, and yeah, I'm bringing mine with me. So I will have mine with me as well. I just got no
Cool.
mag pouches on it. So
I mean, imagine a bunch of people are going to have theirs. Somebody asked, Mazzo Factory. I will have
there it
to
is.
check them out. No, because the one I saw was, I just Googled it and I've already forgotten. Speed QB.
Okay.
Oh,
There that
yeah.
is.
I think Mazzo Factory sent me a bunch of stuff.
Of course they did. Everybody did.
Or they were going to. It sounds very familiar.
Hmm.
Let me check my channel. Did they ever get around to sending it to me? I hope they didn't
Maybe.
send it to me and it's in a box somewhere that I didn't ever do the review on.
Well, there is that possibility.
That is always a very distinct possibility, unfortunately.
It's in a bin.
My luck, they sent it to me in fan mail. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Stuck it in a bin, forgot it existed.
Well, if it's in a box and we find it, we will open it on Friday for the live.
I'm not seeing anything in the last year. Zarco stuff. I want to say they reached out to me and I said, "Send me everything," and then they haven't.
Oh,
But
there you
yeah,
go.
no, those look really cool.
Blue has experience. He's chimed in that speed QB pistol
Yeah.
pouch is too small for Talons.
Oh well, good to know because that would have been a problem.
Cancel the order. Cancel the order. Oh wow, ships out of Australia. There's the other problem.
Yeah, maybe they never arrived.
And there you go. Blue runs their belt and chest. Well, what do you tell us, Blue? Do you like it? I'm guessing if you're running it, you like it.
And which there are you talking about? Are we talking about QB or are we talking about Mazzo?
I'm gonna
We got
guess
too much stuff
QB,
going
but
on.
I guess we'll see what he says. Yeah.
How do I store my Nerf stickers? I have them in a pile somewhere. Never been a fan of stickers. I don't know why. Never liked stickers. I
Really?
like patches though. Love patches. Don't like stickers.
You just got to find something to stick it to it, man.
Yeah, I can never find anything that I want to put a sticker on. Because then it's on there. Either it falls off because the sticker is bad or it's there forever. And then there's residue.
I feel like there's childhood trauma involved in stickers here.
There is. It's from Lego because they quit doing prints and made you put stickers on, and I could never get them perfectly centered, and it
There we go.
makes my eye twitch.
There we go. I've been starting to stick all my stickers on my the wall boxes and my gun cases.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. They have it, but I could put it on my trunks, but I don't want to.
Fine, I would just bring you about 20 big 5-inch Alley Geek stickers, and we'll do one very geometrically and do one in like an Alley Geek case. And that way, when you show up to events, they're gonna think it's mine and they won't touch it, and that way you can like hide your stuff.
See, somewhere I have a roll of Captain Xavier of X-Strike stickers, ranging from like this big to this big,
dude.
But I don't remember where. I think it's in like a scroll case somewhere in the makerspace. And I think I found it like, aha, there it is. I should put this somewhere safe, and then forgot where
put it somewhere safe.
So safe, even I can't find it. So going to, in some cases stickers are nice. I agree in some cases because you can then not put the sticker on and just have the part blank.
Yeah.
But I'd still much prefer prints in almost all situations.
Yeah.
But that's just me, because if I can't get the sticker perfect, it's gonna drive me nuts.
So I'm definitely going to be buying another bamboo printer and probably set it up. I've been saying it forever, at least 2 or 3. But one of the reasons is to then print my logo in black and yellow.
Yeah.
And I think you should do the same thing, because then that solves your sticker issue. And that way you can just hang out like black and orange your logo. Same idea. So instead of stickers, you can print as many and as big as you want. And like, I don't know, print one about this big and put little straps on it. So it's like a little buckler.
Shield. Yeah. Someone actually said a plexiglass shield with stickers around the border. That would actually be a pretty cool idea.
Yep. Actually, I've seen a couple of guys where they have not the plexiglass, but the container lids, and then they've put stickers on them.
We made a shield years ago out of a 50-gallon drum lid that I think we found in an alleyway. We just pounded out a center boss and put a handle on it, and then painted a very dubious emblem on it. Especially, we were a little mean in our youth. I had a mean streak. Our primary rival back in the day when we did medieval recreation, our symbol was the hourglass. Obviously, the auxiliaries is the anti-glass, which is just the hourglass flipped over. But our symbol was the hourglass, which was an old pirate symbol that they would put on flags, which meant that your time was running out. If the pirates raised the black flag and it had an hourglass, well, that means that, yeah, your time is running out. And the Angel of Death is often depicted with an hourglass, and the Grim Reaper is often depicted with an hourglass, and time running out is a theme of death. Our rivals was House Solstice, and their symbol was a stag. So we made a shield that had the hourglass center and then a stag's skull. And we made this right after finding out that the leader of House Solstice had been diagnosed with cancer. And I'd feel bad about that if you weren't a serial child molester and he, deserved to die a slow, painful death of cancer. So
some bitch.
Really? It still seemed mean, but the guy had it coming.
Yeah.
The guy they replaced him with was also a child molester, but he only did it to his own daughters. So
what the?
I don't play in that organization anymore. We left.
Oh my god! Wow, man!
It's
like,
probably
come
a bit
on.
dark for this stream. Now that I think about it.
Yes, we shall move on to other topics.
We'll move on to other names
later. Oh my god! Maybe we'll go. Oh, Here's a good one. So Andy Griff said, "Is Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa your theme song, Al?" No, but I do have a theme song in the works. It helps when your choir director is your buddy, your church choir director, and we talked about it. And so yeah, he is actually in the process of making me one. And
Nice.
it is yeah, I'll play it for you when I get there. First iteration is there, and he plays, and I can't remember the flute, but it's an interesting. It's a I think it's called a Maltese flute, so it's a little different. It almost sounds like Middle Eastern,
Hmm.
but just in terms because it's a different sounding tune. Part of it, I think, for me was, did you ever watch the series Black Sails, the
Yes.
pirate one? Yeah. So I love the opening on that. So it was the idea of something like that, where it's kind of dark, mysterious, you know what I mean, but at the same time very powerful and different.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
he did it, but the only change, and he's got the drums in the background, so boom, 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 which is good. And then he has that playing over top of it. It's just that when he plays the instrument, the final thing, there's like almost a too much of a Middle Eastern twang to it, where it's like the flute sounds good, just no twang on the end. So, anyways, it's a work in process, and I'm very excited about it.
That is super, super cool.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a theme song.
Back in the day, we didn't have a theme song, but we did have marching cadences that were all themed to the crew because we used to march around a lot.
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, your theme song, well, is it's well, your unofficial theme song, just because all your videos start with it, is what is it
yeah. It
again?
is "O Fortuna" or "Carmina Burana"
Yes.
by Carl Orff. Um, just because I like it.
So, would you want your own, or are you just happy sticking with those?
I don't know. I don't know.
And if you had your option of your own, which way would you go? Would you also go Black Sails, since you do have the the whole pirate theme going?
I would probably go with something more of a military march, something Imperial March esque.
Mm.
Um, I have one. I marched into court once back in my medieval days, and it was dark, and I'd done something dastardly, and I had my big black cloak on, and someone in the audience started humming the Imperial March, and everybody joined in. It was pretty cool. I managed. I got up to the crowns, to the thrones where the king and the queen were, and the king had this look of, nobody hums music when I march into court. Why is
How'd that happen? Yeah, did we talk about that last time? Did you see that when there was was it a German destroyer or frigate was sailing into New York
yes,
Harbor?
in the
They were they were
playing the
all
Imperial
lined up
March.
on the deck.
Like, I mean,
That's right.
you're like, I mean, embrace it, I suppose.
For those that don't know, yeah, it was a German warship, and obviously they were just on whatever reason they were in New York, and the whole crew was lined up on the deck as they were sailing into the New York Harbor, and on the loudspeakers they were playing the Imperial Death March for Star Wars. If you haven't seen it, Google it. It's pretty funny.
I have heard a techno version of O Fortuna. I don't know if I've heard that one. I will definitely have to look it up. Andy works catching up. Got a bit dark. You're like, yeah, we're going back to happier topics.
Yes,
Uh,
we are. Sometimes.
well, I'm interested, always interested to see where the hobby goes. It just continues to grow, and new blasters come out, and fantastic. I'm hoping to travel to a lot more events next year. I definitely want to do Pennsylvania Survival Fest because I haven't made it yet. Definitely want to do
You'll like
RAG
that
next
one.
year. I'll be doing Maryland Mayhem. I may even bite the bullet and do another End War. I haven't been to one since 2019.
I think I'd go if it wasn't on the 4th of July weekend, because we always have family vacation that week. I'm going to
No,
the beach, man.
I don't.
But
Let's see. Someone on YouTube
actually,
played Imperial March.
wait a minute. They might be, so yeah, because I am doing Mayhem because it's in the backyard. Pennsylvania Survival Fest I want to hit as well. So if Actually, yeah. If End War still falls on the 4th, I think our beach vacation is being moved. I guess we'll see, but I might be able to hit it too.
That'll be good. Mall Madness, and obviously there. Have I had any good cheesecakes lately? No. It's been a while since I had a good cheesecake. I mean, honestly, the last time I had a truly good cheesecake was my youngest sister's wedding, and she made cheesecake, and it was fantastic. And the best cheesecake I'd had before that was in New York at a restaurant that specialized in desserts. So naturally, they were quite capable of making a good and proper New York cheesecake. The problem with that is I've compared every cheesecake since to that actual New York cheesecake, and they just don't quite hold up.
You know what? That's funny. I was fully expecting that comment to be coming from someone else. I wasn't expecting it to be Dustin.
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh, he's here. No, Dustin Bergen. Dustin Bergen's giving me grief about cheesecake now.
Which reminds me, so he also was thinking about. I told him that about 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, that I was coming out to see you, and he was like, "Man," and he almost bit the bullet. But then having kids and a wife, and then other expenses potentially coming up, we kind of reminded him where he's like, "Damn it!" So he hopes that we don't have cheesecake.
Oh, there'll be cheesecake. We'll be hitting a cheesecake factory Thursday on the way home.
Oh, nice. All right. He's getting a video.
Of just us standing in front of the whole display of Cheesecake Factory cheesecake.
I love it.
There's got to be a Cheesecake Factory in either Vancouver or Portland, right? Right?
Probably you'd think so. What does the Google say?
I'm
What
Googling.
Does the Google say?
I'm bringing it up. Cheesecake. It is Portland, though. I need to make sure that it doesn't turn out to be a strip joint.
All right. What? Is Portland that rough?
No, they just allow it. So does Washington, but Idaho
strong,
doesn't.
Man. Idaho is. That's a whole different.
Idaho's got issues. Oh, let's see. Portland style yes. Cheesecake and Dessert Company. About 2 miles from the airport.
Wait, say that again. There's a Cheesecake Factory 2 miles from the airport?
No, it's even better. It's a Portland. It's a more bougier option.
Oh, a bougie Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah. The other actual cheesecake factories are further south or across the river. But the Portland style cheesecake and dessert company looks.
Oh, that's not that's not Cheesecake Factory. My first time in a Cheesecake Factory, we were in Chicago visiting friends, and this is when I still lived in Canada. And we went to a Cheesecake Factory. So this was also 2000 or 2001. And it was the summertime, and we hit the Cheesecake Factory in the afternoon. And we were, because at that point, 20 years ago, I was in my 20s. And when we drank, it was usually like beer or something else. So the three of us, there was 3 of us there. We agreed not to drink what we normally drink and drink something weird. You know, it's sad when I looked at the waitress, I said, "Can I get a strawberry daiquiri?" And she goes, "Oh no, sweetie, you can't handle it." She goes, "That's too light for you. You're going to have this instead." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And I'm like, "Wait, should I be offended by that? Because do I smell of it? Like I don't understand." Anyways, yeah, Long Island iced teas. I had 4 of them. Wow, that was a funny walk back to the hotel. I think it was only half a mile away, and it took us about an hour.
Cheesecake factories are always in a mall.
Actually, yeah, a lot of them. They are. It's hard to find them where they're freestanding.
Anyway, cheesecake will be acquired,
especially now, just because it's has come up.
Yes. What's favorite brand of duster?
Dustin, no worries about bringing up cheesecake. We like cheesecake, so this is good.
Oh, yeah. No, cheesecake's great. Key lime pie. I don't know that I've ever had a key lime pie.
Really? You've seen them before, just never had them, right?
Probably.
Yeah, key lime.
Have you tried
it's a lime cream, man.
the Series 747 P90? I have not. I've never been a fan of the P90 look. I don't know why.
Which reminds me, when I'm there, I want to see the knockoff 40 millimeter revolving grenade launcher.
Oh, okay.
Is it whatever that is? Not the M79. Yeah, I want to see one before I start buying them. I think. That's it. That's not like you know where that one is, right? It's not hidden in a box somewhere, right?
Yeah, I know where it is.
All right, good.
It's in a pile. We might have to dig through, but I know vaguely where it is. Went to a yard sale full of Nerf, 2 Hailfires and Rapid Strikes, Hyperfires, Strifes, $8 Strifes, man. $3 Hammer Shots. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Goodwill these days, it's hard to get them for less than $5, but I still never pass a Hammer Shot at a Goodwill, which is why I now have 90 of them.
You might have to start getting rid of some.
No.
Not the hammer shots.
They are absolutely magnificent for loner blasters. Because even a small child can operate them successfully.
May I ask when you needed 90 hammer shots at once?
Last Wednesday.
You did not have 90 of them out there.
I did. I had 70 people on the field, and half of them were dual-wielding hammer shots.
Jeez. Never mind. There goes my argument.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I was there.
I believe you, and I can see it.
With 2 bins of hammer shots, and they were empty.
You want to tell people what you went home with?
Right. So we run Wars at Borst every month for most of the year. And somebody came to one of our wars and was like, hey, would you be willing to do an event for another organization? And this woman was one of the people involved in the local homeschool community. And they were wanting to do a big social event and bring all the kids together because the kids are all a bunch of hermits because they're all homeschooled. So they wanted to bring them all to one place and arm them. And I said, sure, I'd be happy to run a Nerf war for the local local homeschool kids. And the first one, you're like, well, what'll it cost? I'm like, I'll do it for some root beer. And I was expecting a bottle of root beer, maybe 2 liters of root beer, maybe a nice 6-pack or something, to some root beer to sip on while I ran the event. No, apparently what was communicated to the homeschoolers was everyone must bring root beer for the captain as tribute. I left that event with 15.5 gallons of root beer. I did the math. I like root beer, but I don't drink that much root beer. I drink a bottle with dinner maybe 2 or 3 times a week. Now, I'll come up with something. So the next time I decided, you know what? Let's see how far this fracas can go. So they asked me to do another one 2 weeks later because so many people who didn't get to go to the first one heard about it and wanted to go to them. And then the people who went to the first one were like, I want to go to another one. So they're like, okay, well, what can we get you to do another one? And like, tell you what, cheese, Tillamook cheese. I will throw another event, but you have to give me Tillamook cheddar cheese. I left with 35.39 pounds of cheese.
So guess what we're drinking and eating this weekend?
Cheese. Nothing but cheese. Tillamook cheese isn't cheap either. I could have charged them $5 a head and they would have come out ahead financially.
They would have saved money.
They completely cleaned out the nearest Safeway of all Tillamook cheddar. I had one person who they couldn't find any Tillamook cheddar close by, so they brought me 4 cans of albacore tuna instead. For a second, I thought they brought me canned cheese, and I was like, "What is this?"
Dude, this is nuts, man. It's going to be root beer floats, but with cheese.
Yeah. And most of it was really good. Like most of it, like it was Tillamook cheddar. Most of it was sharp Tillamook cheddar. One person brought me the extra sharp white, which is the really good stuff.
Wow.
Somebody did bring medium. I think there was a Tillamook medium. Somebody brought me mild. I had forgotten mild cheddar even existed. I haven't eaten anything but extra sharp for years. There was some pre-sliced stuff, which wasn't bad because some of it was still Tillamook, but pre-sliced, which is handy for sandwiches. Some people brought me the individually wrapped snack packages of Tillamook, which was lovely. And some folk brought me off-brand pre-shredded stuff.
Well, throw it in something. Throw it in your eggs.
I don't know what I'm going to do with this.
Scrambled eggs. Throw some Tillamook cheddar into it, man.
Well, yeah, but this isn't Tillamook pre-shredded.
You're right.
This is value, best value Walmart brand pre-shredded. You know, like
we'll make scrambled eggs and throw it into that.
I'm done with this.
So, are you doing another event?
I don't know what I'm going to do with 35 pounds of cheddar. That's going to take me a year to eat. Root like cheddar float. Yeah. That's all. So next time I'm thinking of asking for jerky or like summer sauce.
Oh, dear God.
And then between those, I'll be able to make a really nice charcuterie board.
You know, at this point, you could probably say, how about $4 or $5 ahead? Where is the event? Do you have it at your house, or do you guys do it in the field? So then you could, since they're enjoying it as much as they are, you could probably ask for a minimal fee, and everything you make can actually go back into the hobby. Otherwise, dude, you're gonna have people are gonna think you're a prepper with how much cheese and jerky and what do I need? I need smoked salmon next.
I was gonna go, jerky and summer sausage next, and then crackers, and now I can go into charcuterie business for a year.
There it is. Nerf Wars with Captain Xavier. He brings the charcuterie.
We went from yelling "get off my lawn" to fancy dining. I love it. Yeah.
Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll sit on your front porch while everyone plays, and we'll have the charcuterie board, and we're just yelling at people. No.
I'm definitely going to have to check out a Spirit Halloween and see what kind of foam stuff they have for throwables.
Oh, wait a minute. Is there one in Portland?
I'll ask him for bacon.
There you go. Do you got one near your house, or at least in Portland on tomorrow that we can hit?
I'm sure we can.
I haven't been to one yet this year, so I'm in.
All right. Let's see. Is there I know there's one in Longview, which is on the way home. There are. Is it
10?
Oh, that one's
27.
Closed. Dang it! I was gonna say there's one in between the Goodwill and the airport, but it apparently is temporarily closed. But there's one 2 miles north of the airport. There are no less than 4 Spirit Halloweens on the way home from the airport.
Yeah, we're good.
We'll manage to pull one off. Yes. There's one on the way from the There's 3 on the way from the airport to Out of Darts' warehouse.
By the way, you know what you should get? Because you have the space, man. And the next event, after jerky, tell them $5 each. And when they ask why, tell them it's because you need to buy a 12-foot skeleton. You need a 12-foot skeleton. You got enough property, man.
Be that bad.
I was gonna say the 12-foot skeleton's $300, man. Throw an event. We have enough to buy a 12-foot skeleton. You have the space at your house. Never mind, like everything. Dude, you want one? I have one. They're great.
There's always a thrift video in the works because whenever I travel anywhere, if I go to a Goodwill, I film it, and then I eventually compile all of those. So once upon a time, I actually did do the whole Goodwill run in one weekend, and I'd hit 10 or 12 Goodwills. Now it'll take me 2 months to hit 12 Goodwills, but I still just compile it into one video. So yeah, we will be filming the shenanigans that happen with Al the Geek here, and that will include hitting at least a couple Goodwills because bring that map back up. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 Goodwills between the airport and my house. So
We'll probably be looking at costumes again, like we did last time.
yeah.
Since it is Halloween. What happened?
Spirit Halloween directly next to a Goodwill across the street.
Oh, why is this being weird there?
So yeah, we'll be running amok and having a good time.
Of course we will. Yeah, my giant skeleton, he's on the front lawn. My wife has affectionately named him Stuart. And Andy Griff, I do have a big rig. I just haven't put it in his hand yet, but I do have one. Yeah, the Spirit Halloweens, man, they always have some great foam weapons. I have a bunch of them with the axes and stuff like that. I don't know what to do with them, but I have them. I do have them.
You never know what you'll find. I have finally I finally have a really good amount of the Rival XL rounds that I've been collecting. I first found them at so it looks like a giant Rival round, but it's the size of a softball.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe the size of a tennis ball. Yeah, the size of a tennis ball because I can launch it out of a dog ball launcher. And I found them at Dollar General, and they're made by some random cheap toy company. And at Dollar General, they're $1 a piece. The problem is they come in a variety pack of other sports balls. So they've got baseballs and footballs and basketballs, and then a couple of, for some reason, yellow golf balls. Why they're not white like most golf balls are, I don't know. But I'm glad they're yellow because that makes them look just like giant Rival rounds. But if you're lucky, a Dollar General, the most I've ever seen at a single Dollar General was 3. More commonly, you'll find 2, and some only have 1. But I hit every Dollar General within, 100 miles of my place to try to find them. I hit every Dollar General in the Pittsburgh area when I was there for GCC's HVZ. I've hit every Dollar General in the Maryland area, the DC area.
Oh, that's right, when you were here. Yep.
And I've managed to collect a decent number. I also, apparently, they occasionally show up at things like Safeway or even Fred Meyer's. But they're $4 a piece instead of $1 a piece. But I have another one that I could very easily run a loadout using just those and a dog ball launcher, which I have run them and in my arena, and I do plan to do it again this weekend. If we do a singles round, which we often will do as a warm-up game, it's 3 15s. You have 3 lives. In between lives, you count to 15. When your 3 lives are dead, you're eliminated. And it's just our warm-up game. And it's typically done with single-shot weapons only. And I've done it with my massive burn firing mega Rival. So it's Rival the size of a golf ball. But it fires them really, really hard. And I shot out of darts in the face with it at closer range than I would want to get shot with it. But he took it like a trooper.
Massive burn. So what's the massive burn? The mega burn?
No. It's bigger than a mega burn. So the mega burn fires mega. The massive burn fires golf balls.
I didn't realize he made a massive burn too.
He didn't. I think someone else actually designed it. And unfortunately, they were not an engineer. And after about 3 shots, it tears itself apart because it's not
Engineered.
solidly built enough. And I keep
Okay, fair
forgetting
enough.
to just go to town with it and some flat stock and just bolt it and rivet it together so it can't come apart anymore.
True. Oh, yes.
What are we hitting up Amazon for?
Oh, instead of thrifting.
I'm not sure. The reason you don't go to Amazon is because they want full price for stuff. Whereas I can go to Goodwill and get a fully functioning Artemis for $5. Amazon does not have the Mega XL balls. I looked. That is where I get my foam rival balls, though, or the golf balls. The trick is that because they're practice golf balls is what they're used for. The problem is some of them are rigid, and I would not shoot them at a friend. Others are squishy enough, I would happily shoot them at a friend. But I had to order like 6 different brands to find one that was squishy and then order that one in bulk. So I've got a fair amount of not squishy ones now because they don't come in small packs.
So you can use the not squishy ones for vermin that you do not want messing with your. Right. I put pumpkins on my front stoop for Halloween, and it never fails. They usually last till post Halloween. They leave it out if I haven't carved them, and they usually last till Thanksgiving. I put out 2, and they're both dead. Why? I have a squirrel that cannot forage. Instead, goes through my stuff and burrowed a hole, squirrel-sized hole, into the large pumpkin to seed it, and the other one too. If I had time, man, I'd be sitting on the front stoop, man, with something. And yes, I am not happy. Never mind, pirated my tomatoes. I need a bird of prey in my area, or it's going to be a party. Bring a chair and a 250 FPS blaster. We're going to sit on the front porch and wait. How do you feel about this, Al?
I fired. What was I? I fired something high powered at a rat that was in my shop.
Oh, and
I haven't seen it since. Didn't kill it.
But they got the message. Go away. Wolf, yeah, I think it was the same one. So I've stopped putting out any kind of stuff on the front porch. I'm hoping if one starves and then knocks on my front door, I'll open the door and just step on it.
Yeah, see, if I were to put something on my front porch, I'd end up with like possums and stuff. I got all kinds of animals living around here. One of them just up and died in my side yard. Just one day, dead possum in the yard. You're like, do you mind? I threw him in the swamp.
Are you sure it wasn't Swamp Cat?
I wouldn't be surprised if Swamp Cat killed him. Swamp Cat keeps eyeing the deer that come into my yard.
Well, they are invading. It is her space. She tolerates you, but everything else.
Yeah. I am at best tolerated, yes. But then I give her food, so that's why I'm allowed. Foam hammers, pickles, potatoes, brains, and grenades.
There we go.
I do have a bin full of foam grenades, and I'd love more foam brains. You know you're playing with the good HVZ crowd if you pull out a foam brain in front of the zombies and go, see the brain? See the brain? Go get the brain and throw it, and they chase the brain. You're like, okay, these people are here to have fun.
Yes.
And then run away when they do that. I have an inflatable brain I've used on zombies that way. Like they corner us and you're like, wait, pull out the brain, blow it up. See the brain? Go get the brain! At WSU's HVZ, I can't remember where I got it, but I think it was from like Halloween. I have a wind up brain that winds up and then walks.
Oh, how cool.
And I've used that to distract zombies. And the zombies are like, oh. And again, that's how you know you're playing with people that are there to have fun.
That's right.
best of you shot with a high-powered blaster? Spider. I shot a spider. Now this spider, big old orb weaver, one of those big black and yellow ones. You'd have liked them.
Wow.
He first put a web by one of the pillars on my front porch. So I walked out my front porch and I can see him, but he wasn't directly in my walking path. So that was perfectly okay. He's outside. That's where spiders go. I didn't have a problem with this.
I remember this.
Later that day, I noticed that there was now just a big hole in the web, and I assumed like a bird or a spider or a bird or a bat had gone through the web trying to get him, but apparently hadn't, because the next day he'd rebuilt his web right in my doorway. So the mailman knocks on the door to deliver a package. I open it up, and there's a spider here. And while he wasn't really this big, it felt like that because, I mean, he was probably that big.
Yep, and he's right there.
Right there. You're like, you done messed up. So I went and grabbed a blaster that I have affectionately named Sting because I use it to kill spiders. It also hits 100 or 260 FPS. It's my Manzan Miscreant. Yeah, my Manzan Miscreant. And I shot him. And all that was left was goo and some twitching legs.
I was going to ask. There'd be nothing much left when that happens. Oh, I did.
With a bird.
So I did. So I'm not sure if it was
banana spider.
There we go. I don't know if it was the offending squirrel, but there was a squirrel in the side tree by my garage, man. I had my arquebus in the garage, man, and I pulled it out, and it was like kind of standing still, and I got it in the butt, that's for sure, man. And it boogied on out of there. But I don't know if it was the offending squirrel, but considering he was in the tree staring right down on my garden right beside my house, yeah, I wasn't asking questions.
Yeah. Oh, banana spider is what I shot.
See? That's bananas.
Looks like one.
So wait, by the way, so after this Bourse War, is that the final one for the year? Do you guys have any other events that are scheduled for this year?
No. After this, we don't do any in November or December because it's cold and damp and we don't have an indoor location. However, the homeschoolers might. So I might get to run some more homeschool events or more events for the homeschoolers over the winter and continue to rake in, food.
Or whatever you tell them.
Or whatever else.
You know what? Bring them a picture of that foam ball and see what they let them go out and scour all the Dollar Generals to get you what you need. So then when does Bourse start up again? After this weekend?
April, I think.
Oh, wow. So January, February, March, nothing.
Yeah. Again, cold and damp.
Yeah.
Because we live in a rainforest. North of...
Yeah,
a northern rainforest.
Well, to give those an update living at home, or wherever you're living, watching from home. Oh, come on. Maryland Nerf Herders, the Battle of Endor is actually coming up. Yep. And it is the weekend of November 2nd, which is basically next weekend. So next weekend it's on a Saturday, and it is the Nerf Herders location. So, like, for those that were at Maryland Mayhem, last year was the indoor location, but the year before that, the 11th hour was at an outdoor field. That's where Maryland Nerf Herders is. Now, the Battle of Endor is in the woods right beside it. So it's all in the forest, hence the Battle of Endor. And it's a higher FPS cap. I can't remember what it is, but that's a really fun day. It should be a huge turnout for that happening. I am going to it, but I'll probably get there by lunchtime because I have prior engagement I promised to do, and I realize I'm like, damn it, it's the same weekend. But I will show up there. And I know a bunch of people are coming down. So I know like the A team is coming down. Like Jeff flies back from Portland. I think he's home for a day or two. Then he comes back up with Blue for Endor. So they're going to be here for that weekend.
So, rough bit of travel.
I think, oh my God. Then Southern Maryland House of Nerf, they have Nerf's Giving, which is a Saturday. They always have it's their final war for the season, and it's the Saturday of Thanksgiving. Because after that, again, it's just way too cold for it. However, we have Andrew, a.k.a. Dart Sweeps, um,
sweep.
group, which is DMV Nerfers, and he has an indoor soccer field, so his runs all year long. But then sometimes Southern Maryland House of Nerf,
Yeah.
sometimes they'll have like invitationals because on their play field is actually the Charles County Fairground, and they have like a large barn, like a metal barn storage area where they let people play indoor soccer, and sometimes they actually score that. And usually for that, it's invitation only. Well, kinda, where they limit the numbers of it, but it's also 200 FPS cap, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the downside to the indoor event that the homeschoolers have is it definitely won't support the same number of people that Borst had. Um, and they're not sure how they want to deal with that because they don't want to say no, you can't come. But if you say first 50 people to sign up get to come, but they were also talking about maybe doing it in like 2 hour blocks. So they do it, they sign up for one of 2 2 hour blocks so you can all attend, but only 50 can fit on the field at a time. So, um, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a shame to miss Rag this year, but there were reasons. I heard it went well. There were the usual, complaints that people have, but for the most part, it was well run. A lot of really cool MacGuffins, little cool prizes, really cool costumes. So fun was had.
What
I
was the
look forward to
turnout?
hearing.
Was it the usual numbers? Did they have more or
I
less?
have
Do you know?
no idea actually. Uh,
That's on the list. I got to make it out for one of those. Maybe next year.
it's one that's worth going to, just because they also do a convention, a tournament, and a war, and an HVZ. And it's either an HVHVZ or an HVHVHVZ. It's either three human teams versus the zombies, versus each other and the zombies. Um, and it's really fun. And they're nice enough. Yeah, they're holding it in California, but they hold it in October, so it's not oppressively hot. It's still warm because it's California, but it's not 90-degree heat, July in Georgia heat.
Georgia. Yeah, there. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't
That's
be
a definite thing.
opposed to going to Katsukan, but
It's the weekend of February 15th, 16th, 17th, or whatever that is.
so my birthday?
It's your birthday weekend, man, and it's the anime one.
I don't know. My
It
birthday
is
falls on a
craziness.
Wednesday next year. Lame. So it's President's Day weekend.
Is it? What is it? Is it like Valentine's Day? Is what, the Thursday or Friday?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's that weekend.
yeah. Um, when is President's Day 2025? Yep, President's Day is that Monday.
Yeah, you were impressed with Wolf calling out cosplays. That's all that happens that weekend,
I have no doubt.
and he recognizes all of them. I just go,
It,
okay.
it baffles me and amazes me. What I love is that he always knows what to say to make them smile.
Yes. Yeah.
What movie quote or snarky, in joke, insider joke. It's just cool to watch. And just sitting there going,
Yes.
and every once in a while, it's one that I've seen, like, oh, I understood that reference. Yeah. And the rest are going, I have no idea what's going on, but they're smiling like it's Christmas, and that's just cool to see.
And it's also sometimes it's silence, and he goes from zero to super loud, where suddenly it's like, "Hey, hey!" And you're like, "Are we fighting? What? Oh, okay. He's just yelling at somebody."
He's just giving someone guff who apparently needed guff. Yeah, it is Valentine's Day weekend and President's Day weekend. That was one of the benefits growing up where my birthday landed. It was
Yep.
always either on or the week of a 3-day weekend because schools got President's Day off back in the 90s. I don't know if they still do. So I
I
always
guess it
had a
depends on the
3-day
school.
weekend for my birthday party.
Because your birthday is what, the 12th,
The 19th.
19th? Okay, so it's the Wednesday after.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. Colin, I forgot to put in pictures. Where's my picture of Al the Geek and a mankini for the Nerfer calendar?
Yeah, I meant to get a
Yeah,
picture sent in for the calendar and just never got around to sending it in, and I feel bad, but
same.
it happens.
We suck,
We
but
do.
we'll figure it out. We'll figure
It
it out
gave
at some point.
opportunity for other people, I'd like to say.
That is why we bowed out just to make sure, because obviously we have
Yeah,
our own show and we're
yeah,
egomaniacs
yeah,
as is.
yeah,
So
yeah. We don't. I don't need to be in the calendar.
that's right. Or you got Anthony. You got Maritime Foam. He's got his own calendar, and it's just him 12 months of the year. And I love it. But thankfully, he's not in a mankini. It's just Anthony, and it's hey, it works.
You know, NF Strike does make a tactical bikini with Molly and
That's right.
everything.
Colin Blank. It was a stretch goal prize for SCRD. Was it really? Me in a mankini? I think we talked about it, but was it?
Apparently,
I gotta remember to stop to agreeing to things.
the I signed on to I supported two Kickstarters this year, and both of them blew their goal so far out of the water that they were scrambling for stretch goals by the end. Um, SCRD met its goal before it even went live,
Yes, it did.
and then it was just a matter of every so much more they added another color, and then they ran out of colors, so they started adding other things. The other one I got behind was a Munchkin box, and they were going for like I want to say 50,000 or 100,000 or something was their goal. They made over 1 million, and it was
Wow.
like every I can't remember if every 50,000 or every 10,000 they had another stretch goal, and they blew it so completely out of the water that they're like, okay, we've run out of ideas. What do you want? So we were just throwing out ideas, and there's
Wow.
like, all right, we'll do that one next. One I wish I'd thrown out is fix your phone app. It doesn't work on my phone anymore. I want my app back.
There you go.
We're still
Oh
waiting
yeah,
for that
by
one
the
to
way,
deliver. We ended up having to make so much extra stuff that they had to get it all manufactured and get stuff sent to the printers and make sure it all looked right. And I'm looking forward to that one.
there we go. That was pretty cool. So apparently Colin will be happy if I send him picture one directly. Calendar was the goal. All right, we'll come up with some kind of calendar or something sufficient.
We'll just send you some feet pics. You're
There you
clearly that kind of deviant.
go. We'll take that's what we'll do this weekend. We'll put our feet in a picture, but not tell them what it is and said, guess whose foot it is.
Or, and we'll make it obvious. We'll have your moose in frame with a foot, and Tyr in frame with a foot. And...
That's right. Wait, no, dude, I'm bringing temporary tattoos. Maybe I'll put a temporary tattoo on the foot.
yeah, on the bottom, just to be
There it
really
is.
weird about it. Bet you
And yeah,
would. He
Bikini
says he'll
Molly. We
take
did
it.
talk about Bikini Molly. There it is. So also happening this weekend, if you remember watching Foam's Giving last year, there are a few things that,
Oh
speaking of stretch
yeah.
goals, that yeah, we got to do because we sold it and we agreed to it. It's
How many
just
rounds were you supposed to get shot with?
oh my god, does anybody know off the top of their heads that those especially that have been harboring much anger, they're not happy? It was something, was it 1,200, 800, 700, 4? It was a
We might
lot.
have to ask the man behind the curtain if he remembers.
Yeah.
Because one of the goals was me fill the tier and just shoot it and have to pick it all up, and I did that video. But there was one where
Yep.
it was just Al getting hosed
Hosed.
by however many rounds.
Yep.
Um,
Was it 6 or 700?
it was something like that. Um,
Yeah.
we need to decide what blaster we're going to use.
Yeah. I guess well it depends on yeah.
Because I got lots of options. I mean, tier will hold that much, the smart gun will hold that much, but then I've got proton packs, like regular, proper out of darts proton packs that'll hold 800 rounds, and a wall full of proton pack compatible blasters. I got ones that shoot 35 rounds a second.
Now, hold on, Scott. 2 million. Careful, buddy. You throw out numbers like that, it was a buck a ball. So you'd owe us some money.
All right, shell it up, scat. I
yeah,
should
there
build
might
a
be
Jolt that's
something happen.
proton pack powered.
Yeah, you should.
Basically, just glue a Jupiter flywheel cage to the top of a Jolt. Call it good.
There it is.
That is how I
That would
built
be
my
fun.
500 FPS blaster. Was basically that. Just put 3 feet of brass on a drain blaster, but I put the brass through the back of a Jolt, and then linked the drain blaster's trigger to the Jolt's blaster, to the Jolt's trigger. So, you know, it was just a Jolt with a power stock.
Absolutely. Like,
and it
hello?
hit 500 FPS, put a hole in my dart net. I was very annoyed.
What the hell, man?
It also put an FVJ halfway through a Nerf magazine, so...
It is... The one thing doing the Dart Zone booth is that you quickly realize how many people have no idea how to load blasters. And we've now finally kind of... We're basically now are kind of fine-tuning it, where it's like when you walk up, you can't pick up anything. We hand you the mag. We show you how to load it. Load the mag. Then you give me the mag. Then I put the mag in the blaster, cock it once, shoot once, hand it to you, and then you shoot. And you know what? It runs so much smoother. Less likelihood of some guy swinging a Mark IV around with his finger on the trigger where I would have got it right between the eyes at 2 feet. A Mark IV. Yeah. Where it's like, yeah, we're not playing this game anymore. This is free, but you all going to follow some rules. And here's how it is. Put it down. Nope. Put it down. Nope. Eyes on me. This is what you're going to do. Here's a mag. There's putting darts. And it was great because that last show in Chicago, people were standing there like bunnies. They're sitting there with their mags like this, just waiting patiently. I'm like, see, organized chaos. This is fantastic. And nobody gets shot and nothing gets broken.
The number of dude bros who walked up and said, yeah, I know how to use a real firearm, and proceeded to drop the magazine out of the bottom of their blasters. Like,
do you?
Do you, though?
Do you? Explain to me what it is exactly you think you know. Because then let me explain to you what you
I can't remember how many times I got to make some snide comment about, you seem to have gone off prematurely, giving their girlfriend a knowing look. Guy gets very embarrassed. She cackles. It was good times.
Oh, I'm going to keep that one away. I like that one. We're going to file that one away. Oh, man.
I think I would also make some comments like, don't feel bad. Happens to every man. 1 in 5. Yeah. Then the knowing look to the girlfriend and the cackle. Like, damn, dude. You'll get no sympathy out of me.
None.
But we have one. They have made it easier because one of the blasters that we were using, I think, were Mark IIs, which didn't have skinny pushers. So you had to prime it back before you could put the mag in, which isn't something, even if you knew how to use a firearm, that's not something you have to do with a real firearm. So it's understandable that didn't occur to people. But then when we switched to like the Striker and the Nexus X, they have skinny pushers. So you no longer have to worry about that.
Yep. But they know stuff. Oh, you always get it. Generally, like we complain about it because obviously, with considering how many people you deal with, many people listen and it goes well. But it's always the one that kind of rub you the wrong way, which we kind of report back. If everybody that came to the booth was like this, trust me, I would have made it through halfway at one show and going, yeah, I'm out. No. Good luck on that. So this is our chance to vent. And let's take this as a learning moment. This is the what not to do.
Yeah.
What not to do. I also love the people that come up and it's kind of like they feel like entitled to it. Well, I can do this. Let me explain something to you. Just because you bought a ticket, this is free. What does that mean? That means I don't have to give you nothing. I can take everything away from you. I can say no, and you can not be happy about it and walk away. Because you know what the refund is? There is no refund. Go away and live your life elsewhere, man.
You see this here? This here is what we call a privilege, not a right.
Correct.
Yep.
So, go away.
Didn't
But,
have too much trouble. I got real good at explaining it very quickly. The one that kind of threw people for a loop, and again, understandable, was the Venoms, where the rev is in the grip. And it ended up being, you almost didn't have to explain it, because when you go to pull the trigger, you just naturally kind of grab it and it would rev. And so it just kind of worked. But that one was trying to explain to them, so you got to make the flywheel spin by squeezing. Yeah. When it's pull the lower trigger, pull the upper trigger. That's easier to understand. I just prefer rev triggers, but that's just me.
Well, that makes sense. I had one guy in Dallas when we were there, looks at me, he says, but why to buy this? Real guns shoot better. I said, well, you can't shoot your friends. And he looks at me and he goes, well, I can. You shoot your friends. And clearly at that point, because I called him out on it, so then he would not let go. He goes, I can shoot whatever I want, man. Yeah. And your friends let you? Yeah, of course they let me. How do you still have friends? I'll do whatever I want. I'm like, I should stop arguing with this man because he's probably carrying, and he might then consider me a friend and shoot me.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're going to stop this conversation and move on to something else because I do not want to get friended by this gentleman.
Yeah.
It's always funny. Don't you find it interesting? And I guess for those in the hobby, that if you ever get people that are more very firearm based where they'll make that comment, it's kind of like the comparison, because it's always like, how do you tactfully approach that without making them, well, some people deserve to be shown rudely, but it's like, how do you, because we don't want to, again, our hobby is great because we come across as friendly as and inviting. So it's like, how do you properly present it so that when people make comments like that, you should put it in the right perspective so they don't feel butthurt and they understand it. And I guess the best way, it's kind of like, what's it? Well, you know what? Real guns are best. I said, do you walk into a go-kart place and say, I'll just bring my car in here? Like, you understand the difference? And I use that a couple times in Dallas, and they're like, oh, that makes sense. I said, yeah, man, we're not, it's not peddling real stuff. These are toys. When you go to a go-kart thing, you drive the go-kart, not your souped up Mustang outside. Like,
yeah. The real gun enthusiasts, making it, you're like, okay, you do know that I can take this to the park and shoot my friends. I can't do that with a real gun. The ones that are more belligerent, or tend to be more belligerent, because you explain that to someone with real guns, they're like, okay, that makes sense. You can have fun with it. It's the airsofters and the paintballers who want to get belligerent about, well, airsoft is better or paintballers are better. You just don't want to do this. And you're like, dude, I can play this in a public park for free. You can't play airsoft or paintball in a public park for free. You got to pay, 20, 30, 40 bucks an hour to go to an airsoft or a paintball arena. Also, I get to pick up my ammo and reuse it. The downside is I have to pick up all my ammo, but I can. And I can play it on a college campus. I can play it in a mall after hours. I can do things with Nerf you can't do with airsoft or paintball. Plus, I get to tinker with it, and it's way cheaper. I can go to Goodwill and buy a Nerf blaster. You can't go to buy and find good Nerf blasters, top of the line Nerf blasters. You're not going to find a top of the line airsoft gun or a top of the line paintball tagger at Goodwill for $5.
You know what the best part of this hobby is?
The people.
No, you don't have to talk to that airsofter.
See, that's often my response when somebody comes on I don't get a lot of trolly comments anymore. And I don't know if they just don't find me anymore or if they come to grips with reality or what, but I used to get a lot of comments of, why don't you just do airsoft? And my response was, because airsofters ask that question.
Yep.
I don't want to play with the sort of people that come to a Nerf channel and ask a question like that. You're a dick, and I don't want to hang out with you.
Exactly. You are in the right place. That's why. And I don't want to go to your right place because it's the wrong place. What's that mean? Just shut up and go away. That's what I mean.
Uncultured one. I go with uncultured Schweinhund.
There you go. Oh, that is
library funny. PvP. Yeah, I've played in some libraries. It's a good location. And again, we can do it with Nerf. You can't do it with airsoft or paintball. You'd make a mess. But with Nerf, even if you don't find all your darts, someone's going to find a Nerf dart in the stacks and just be like, "What happened here?" And then they're going to go ask, "Hey, why are there Nerf darts on the stacks?" Well, we have Nerf Wars here. That's awesome. Can I play? Absolutely. Look, we got more people.
Yes, you can. Yep. Let's not paintball. Oh, go away. But then again, those same people would not be in the library, probably. Oh.
No, that's the thing is you're not going to stumble across an airsoft or a paintball, randomly somewhere and find out there's a game played here.
Truth.
We pick up a lot of people at Borst just because they happen to be at Borst and we were playing through. Like, wait, do you have any extra blasters? We got bins full of extra blasters. I want to play. Here you go.
Which reminds me, if you're in the Pacific Northwest, Borst is happening this Saturday. Both myself and Captain Xavier will be there. Come out and find us.
Fort Borst
in
Centralia, Washington.
There it is. If you don't like us, it's a big enough field where you can just play on the other side and we won't bother you. So we will not make sure to hunt you down and find you.
All right, we got 4 minutes. Let's get some questions. Ask some questions. What do you guys get?
I got to go to bed and wake up and, I think I set my alarm for like 3:45. My flight's at 6.
I got to get up and attend a meeting and then go pick you up. Ugh. The worst.
I know. What would you like to do on a Thursday? Not that.
It's going to be a long day, but it's going to be good. It's going to be a long weekend, but it's going to be good.
I think not having too much planned on Friday.
Death of the sight of you. What?
I think not having too much planned on Friday is good, like downtime, because Saturday and Sunday are going to be busy.
Yeah, I like the idea of hanging out and tinkering on building you something ridiculous.
Yes, absolutely. Teach me how to properly solder too. Probably. I have questions and doubts.
A throne of hammer shots, but then I wouldn't be able to use the hammer shots. I could see making a throne out of recons. I got enough of them to build a throne.
Or a small house.
Finally have a reason to start picking up Vulcans again. Just make furniture out of Vulcans.
Like the Amish, but instead of lumber, we use Nerf.
When is the Friday fan mail stream? Friday. You now have all the same information that I do. It will happen on Friday.
We'll post it as soon as we have an idea. I think it all depends where we're at. I guess it'll be sometime later. Oh, do you?
Yeah, Friday. Okay. Blueberries or chocolate chips in pancakes? Neither.
Yes.
I like my pancakes pure. Also, actually, I don't prefer either. I like waffles. Give me waffles. Actually, for pancakes, cinnamon roll pancakes. That's where it's at. That is a decadence that should not have been created, and I love it. I have specifically refused to teach myself how to make them, or I would make them every day, and I would die of beatus by the end of the week.
And the cholesterol from the cheddar. And the diabetes from the root beer. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have no doubt I've got high blood pressure from too much cheese. Stream. Do you like the Nitro Shot Omnia Savage Spin and the Nitro Shots? Yes. I love the orange. I prefer the green to the red. I like orange blasters and I like green blasters. So I'm looking forward to the new Omnia, Nitro Shot Omnia.
There it is. All right. We're going to wrap it up because I got to get some sleep because I got to catch a flight in the morning.
We got 2 more minutes, and there's people asking questions, man. Have you had Tommy Knocker root beer? I think I have. That sounds familiar. Which Friday?
Maybe
this Friday.
This Friday.
How does it feel to own all the Sling Fires and Titan rockets? It feels pretty good. In fact, one of the homeschoolers brought me a Titan with rocket. A green one, even. A green Titan. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's missing 2 of its 3 fins, but I've got the materials to replace those.
Of course you do.
If you want to try all the root beer in the land, I recommend the world's largest candy store in Minnesota. They have aisles upon aisles of root beer. There used to be 2 root beer stores in the SeaTac area. All they sold was root beer.
That's just crazy.
And one of them I never even got to before it closed, and the other one closed down during COVID. And you're like, luckily I got to the second one a couple of times and grabbed most of the root beers that I'd never had. I keep forgetting that I need to get around to going through my bottle collection and figuring out what I have and haven't had. Probably. But they're all covered by books now, and it would be a whole thing.
I sleep on my left and right side, not on my back. How interesting these questions.
Starting Nerf Crow, who would you recruit, the town police commissioner or the mayor? Go to the top. Get the mayor. He's probably a family man. He's probably got kids. It's going to be easy to butter him up, and then you'll have the entire run of the town.
Ha ha! Super Saiyan here. Cool.
I'm a belly sleeper.
Yeah.
Or left or right side. I never sleep on my back.
I can, but I don't. I snore loud as is, but never mind on my back. It'd be deafening for the world, I think.
Yeah.
Possibly criminal.
All right. We are now a minute over. The time has come.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thanks for tuning in. There'll be another episode of Foam Darts, whatever, the Foam Zone next Wednesday with Andrew, aka Dart Sweep. I'm sure he has a guest. I'm just not sure who it is. We'll also be back in about 2 weeks again. We might get Xbox on if his schedule lines up that day. But we'll figure it out then as we figure out where we are. Also, this Friday, not on the World Foam Alliance YouTube channel, which you've already subscribed and liked. If you haven't, share it, subscribe and like, do it. Also, worldfoamalliance.org. Go and register. You know the drill. If you don't, just do it. Trust me, do it. But this Friday on Captain Xavier's YouTube channel, you will find the two of us again, and we will be doing a live. And we're going to be doing Friday Fan Mail. It's his 200th episode. Also this weekend, because we're going to be over there, we're going to be filming a bunch of stuff. There should be an announcement this weekend about Foamsgiving. There'll be videos about Foamsgiving. Apparently, I get hosed by a lot of darts. Maybe we need a first aid kit. It's going to be a busy weekend. We're going to film a lot of stuff. We're going to have a lot of fun.
I got a box of Band-Aids. You'll be fine.
See, there we go. Ice. I'll bring some cigars. It'll be good.
Anyway, ibuprofen. You're set.
Sweet. I'm bringing some too. What'd you have this weekend? I had root beer, cheese, and ibuprofen. And I am good.
In equal amounts. My liver and arteries are shot.
That's right. And to quote One Blue, again, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe and like. Get off my YouTube. Exactly. We'll all catch you next time, man. I'll see some of you on Friday. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We'll see you soon. And get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. I'm being accosted by a swamp cat who wants food, probably.